Welcome to our show, Umbrellas of Hope. We are committed to enrich the life of members of the veteran and military community by connecting them to the resources that they need. We advocate for professional and entrepreneurial opportunities and facilitate conversations of hope, empowerment, and creativity to reduce military and civilian transition difficulties and to help our veteran and entrepreneurs families to thrive. Hi, I'm Niurka, your host. We invite you to be part of this journey as we, together, bring a positive change on new beginnings, opportunity, and success. Our new mini series will be introducing the art of business to share with you how it can enhance your life, your community, and your future. Hi, let's welcome Carola vom Hagen. She's here to talk to us about one of my favorite topics, the psychology of interior color.
So think of a moment, or think of the moment when you wake up in the morning and you open your eyes, and the first light that hits you sets the tone of the day. Sunrise has a pink tone, which is very, very healthy, especially the light before the sun is actually up. So that's the most healthy light that we can receive. And then it changes throughout the day. The first tones that we receive are actually pink tones. So pink tones have a very soothing, comforting tone. Sometimes, though, pink is regarded as weak or too feminine, but in fact, pink has a huge component, even for the male, to soothe the soul, to soothe the heart. And so pink is a very, very healthy, very welcoming color. And when we go throughout the day, we see colors used by shops, by brands, and these colors are specific colors. These colors are used to dictate your shopping behavior. I mean, we all know of certain brands that use specific loud colors, and then there's a recognition behind the color. Again, we are 80% sight driven, so our memory, our mind takes in most of these colors and programs them in the brain, in your memory, and in your subconscious. And so we recognize colors, and hence a message is created or brought to us, and we react to it. And so color comes into our brain, and then a reaction is created, and hence a behavior is created, basically. And so if we get the right color, we can dictate a certain behavior. And I say right because we all have different personalities, but I'll get to that in a minute. Because we all are different, but yet there are some colors that are very strong and equal in each personality. The reactions are very equal in all their personalities. So you can use color to dictate shopping behavior. You can use color to dictate a thinking, a mood, a feeling, a reaction. You can see that in films. Colors or lighting is being used to set different moods and emotions. So you have the horror movie. It's all gray, dark, and gloom, mostly blues and grays. even reds, very strong. The contrast is very strong, and then the black. And then you have the playful children films, very light, very bright, often soothing too. So an emotion is being evoked from these colors. And then you can use these colors or these tones also in your workspace or in the medical field. So color has a long history of as a supplement, as a medical tool, as a healing tool. For example, perfect timing right now, purple is being used to heal and strengthen the lungs. This could come in handy these days. But ancient China and ancient Egypt has already been using color as a means to heal your physical and also your emotional health. So then there's blue that soothes the pain, soothes the illness, that treats the pain. You can have yellow. Yellow is a very strong color. Yellow triggers your nervous system. So depending on the tone of yellow, you can either create a very strong adverse reaction, like really nervous tension, and it really gets on your nerves, or you can have a joyful yellow. This will be going more into the red tones. And then you have, which then goes into the red, which then stimulates your heartbeat, your blood circle. So your heart starts pumping more, and you get more oxygen in, and you become energized. So when you take the yellow and the red, there's a fine tone where you can create this happiness, which is orange. Orange really is a wonderful color, because orange connects straight to your inner child. So this is yes, joy. It's warm. It's stimulates social interaction, so conversation, enthusiasm, lots of energy, good energy. You can't really go wrong with yellow. If you want to bring more vibe into a certain atmosphere, into a certain room, or you want to use it for a certain goal, like behavior. Sometimes families need a little adjustment if the energy is down, and if the moods are more on the tense side. You can use colors to influence family behavior, the interaction. Maybe a child is anxious and needs comforting. So then that's where you can bring in colors to, as almost like a not, I don't want to say medicine, but you can use color to really support a child in its upbringing, in the mindset, in the emotions. So I've worked with a child that would not sleep, and was always anxious and was clinging on to the mother, and this child was 9 years old, and couldn't sleep, was always anxious, was afraid even to go to bed. And so we looked at the room, the colors that were in the room that the child woke up to every morning, and or went to bed with. If it doesn't want to sleep, then the mind is working, and the voices are still talking. So then we needed a color to soothe the mind, to soothe the voices in the head. I mean, there's lots happening for a child during the day, so the brain needs a break to work on all the information it had received during the day. So in order to calm these voices, we use blues around his bed. So he would take in blues, and then it would calm the mind, calm the voices. And then in the morning, in order for him to wake up on a happy note, on a secure note, we added paintings just as an accent. It doesn't have to be the entire wall, but as an accent, we used pinks, orange. There were huge paintings that he even did himself a couple of years prior to that. But we used these in order for him to receive that pink light. We also got rid of very strong colors that first was thought to be fun and engaging, but it was in contrast. There was one wall that had very, very many strong colors, but they were in complete contrast to the rest of the room, which was white. So there was like real harsh information or stimulation through these colors. So we soothed the entire room and used the colors that he needed specifically for his dealings, for his weak points, so to speak, and then strengthened the sense of security. Pink is a great color. Coming back to pink. Pink is fantastic if you know someone, or it's used for depression, for anxiety. It's calming, it's non-threatening, it's nurturing, empathetic. It's a tranquilizer. And I say tranquilizer because some of you might know the University of Iowa has a pink cell in the locker rooms on the football field. And that is for a reason. They decided to use pink in order to calm down the heartbeat of the opposing team so much that they were bound to lose. And that's exactly what happened. So it's really cheeky. They not only made the locker rooms pink, they even had pink bathrooms. Everything was pink. So that had a huge effect on the team. And the team, I mean, they can't do much. That's the room they get, and they have to deal with it. But it does have a huge effect. And pinks are also used in, thankfully, more now in prisons and in jail. There's a pink cell, and an inmate that has aggression issues. Just 15 minutes of being in that cell completely takes down the heartbeat so much, and that no matter how much he wants to be aggressive, or she, the heartbeat is so low that the muscle cannot bring up the energy to be aggressive. So it's being used as a calmer, but in a natural way, a non-chemical way, basically. So you're using the site again to help your body to be on a normal level, so you can really balance out your emotions, your mental state. And now 20% of the police cells in Switzerland, for example, they all have pink cells, which I think is great. So the pink should really be the color to go to, which makes me think of demonstrations when you see people rioting. And policemen come down the street and they're all dressed in black and dark blue and trying to show force. But what does that trigger? That just emphasizes on the harsh emotion, and it's almost supporting the protesters. So my theory is all the policemen really should be, or even the wagons should be, in pink in order to soothe the demonstrators, the protesters, to get the tension out, not the attention, but the tension out. Just imagine how that would work. That's a little side note. Pinks is also very good for nurseries. So babies, I know we had a movement of beige tones and cream tones in the baby's bedroom. But it turns out that these cream colors, these brown colors, are not that good for babies, because they since beige has an amount of brown in, brown can be very unyielding, and so babies do not receive the deep sleep that they need. They tend to be more awake or won't fall asleep. So then, regardless of male baby or female baby, you definitely should need should add some pink tones, but soft tones. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to go full on Barbie 80s pink tones. Just or use even pink as accent. So if the light is pinkish, then that's absolutely fine. You can use pink as a lampshade, just to change the quality of the light in the room. And I will come back to light too, because light is a huge factor on how color is brought to us. So going from pink to beige or to brown, yes, brown is very natural. It's a very natural color. It reminds us of outside the woods. It has honesty. It has stability, but it can be, as I said, very unyielding, very suppressing, very what's the word? I don't want to say dad, because there are different kinds of dads, but there's not a lot of energy going on in brown. So because there is the yellow, that's the triggers the nervous system, and then you have black. So black is a color that reflects no emotions, so the two together really work against each other, or you even work together. You have the nervous system triggered, and then you have the brown, the black, that really puts an end to that. So it's a very tricky color. There's not a lot of energy in there, and yeah. So then we have black. Black reflects no light. It can be very elegant. Black can be a very, very good color as an accent. Very elegant, very precise, can be used to emphasize something else, to emphasize another color. So black is not, it is a color. It is a color. It's, but I would use color in a balanced amount, not too much. Yeah, so then there's what else do we have? We have blue. Blue is fantastic color for concentration. This is my space here. You can see this is where I work. I have blue as like for the child, calms the voices. So it's very good for concentrating, for creative thinking. It triggers the intellect. It stimulates the mind in a concentrated form. So you can really focus on what you want to do in that moment, which is phenomenal. And it's peaceful and it's flexible. You can mix it with many other colors. Blue is a wonderful color, and so blue works really well in studies, in bedrooms, and it works really, really well in kitchens, especially if you want to suppress any cravings, any appetite. If you want to go on a diet, blue is your color. That's really the color to go for. So if you have blue in the color and you think you need a change, then take the blue. Yeah, then there's if you use blue with a cold light, it can give a sense of carelessness. I mean, coldness, we know ice, we know the sky, we know water. Water can be very cold. So if you use light if you use the wrong quality of light, then this has a huge effect on blue, of course. It will be cold. You feel cold. You feel restless. It's almost, it takes you into depression, because it's like there's this constant cold that your body has to work against, not only temperature wise, but emotionally too. So there's an inner fight going, and which is funny because blue is often used in hospitals. So that you have blue and whites in hospitals. It's supposed to give you the message of being clean. It's bright. It's hygienic, clean, hygienic. But this is all seen from a healthy person, let's say the designer or the architect or the personnel in the hospital. They see color in a completely different way, as if we were sick, as if we were in pain. Then blue and whites are perceived as very threatening. In fact, it gives us a sense of it's cold, it's carelessness. It emphasizes the pain that we're going through in that moment. So it's really working against the patient and really working against the call of the purpose of the hospital or the medical office. If you go and see the doctors, if they use that color. So the staff of the hospital is not working only against or trying to help your sufferings, but they also need to work on top of that, need to work against the environment that they're in. And the environment has a huge effect on the healing process of the patient, but it also has an effect on the staff. So the staff themselves have to subconsciously work against their environment, and on top work with the patient. It's really double work. And to me, it's no surprise that nursing staff and hospital staff, the nurses, I mean, they work so hard. So I feel very sorry for them that they have to work in this environment, wrongly understood environment, and work basically double shifts within their normal shifts. There was a study in Sweden in the 90s. They used vanilla scent in the rooms, and they used how would I explain that? It's almost like a pink yellow color, very fine, very very soothing, very warm in the rooms. So they changed the light bulbs, they changed the scent in the room, and the wall colors and the bedding, the fabric of the bedding. And it turned out the patients needed less medication. They were discharged much earlier, and the healing process was phenomenal. And so the medical field has a huge opportunity to help not only themselves but also the patients. And for that reason, this reminds me, there was a boy in a dentist office, and he was supposed to go for an X-ray. And so he was sitting on the chair, and his mom was filming him. She sent it to me. He was completely a nervous wreck. He did not want the doctor, the dentist, to take X-rays. So he was shaking on the chair, and he was shaking on the chair in complete fear. You could see the entire body going tense, being tense. And then the next room, he was fine. She was going into checking teeth and checking if there were any holes and so forth, and he was completely relaxed. She sent me the video, and then I saw the room that he was in. It was a pediatric dentist. That's fine, and I can see how they wanted to be supportive to the or make it a fun space. But the room that she took the X-ray in was a bright, almost neon green. So there's a high amount of yellow in that green. There's no way this child could feel relaxed, or I mean, the amount of energy or strength, that mental strength that child would have needed to soothe itself and then tell itself everything is fine, even though I'm in this threatening environment, that was beyond the child. So you really, the room worked against it. And then once the child had moved on to the next room where she was checking his teeth, that room was orange. It was a really lovely orange. It's fine. It was fine, and the child was happy, and he was all smiles and very relieved. I guess that's a good way to end the visit at the dentist, to go and leave on a good note. But I just felt sorry for the boy, for the tension that he had to experience during a simple X-ray. So yeah, there's some different aspects of how you can really implement color in a great way.
A good leader always explains why behind a task, because he's trying to develop his subordinates or his employees or her to buy into the vision, right? He or she's trying to inspire them, so they have to understand it. Whereas a manager is going to explain the how to get something done. I think that's probably the most simplest definition.
Wow, such a fascinating topic. I think I could hear her talking for hours about it. You know, it's something. Have you ever pay attention to the colors that surround you? Like how they use it in movies and films to influence your mood? And we don't might even be aware of it. Now you might be. But you know how they use purple and pink and blue tones? And they're actually trying to incite a mood out of you. They kind of cue on you how to feel when they share the story with you. Isn't that fascinating? That choosing the right color and and using it on your walls and your surroundings, it can help you be more calm. It can help you be more creative. I think that's fascinating. Using pink and prisons to kind of bring down the mood, the balance. What are we trying to say when we're choosing a brand? There's such thing as brand colors. Why so many banks use blue or green? The financial institution, they use blue or green. UPS use brown. Why? Did you ever ask yourself why? What are they trying to communicate with us with those colors? So when you think about your own brand colors, what colors are you choosing? What are you trying to tell people with it? What it means? How it speaks to you? I love red. It has a very special meaning for me. I love black. I not use black. I like to combine it with different colors. So I actually use them on my brand colors because it speaks to me. So what colors speak to you? Why? Why do you choose those colors? What are you trying to say when you choose those colors? Let us know how, when. Let us know how you're going to use them, how you're going to set the tone. Share with us in social media at Umbrellas of Hope. Bye.
Are you ready to be an entrepreneur? Entrepreneurs are confident, positive, creative, resourceful, and resilient people who are faced with problems and they create solutions. If this sounds like you, tune in to Founders Time to learn more and start your journey.
Hey everybody, are you dressed and having fun yet? Well, I am gussied up. Now, a little bit of trivia. I thought gussied up was a Southern term for when women are all dressed up in the South. They refer to them as gussied up. And kind of like when men are all dressed up, they are called Dapper Dan. But technically, it is a term used by Americans, Australians, and Canadians that refers to, and it comes back from the 1900s, and it refers to dressed and embellished. So here I am, all dressed and embellished. Now, I would have worn the glasses, but they're not quite indoor glasses.
You have and will continue to enjoy this journey in creativity with us. In today's world, where artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, advancing science, and autonomous vehicles is our new normal, creativity has never been more important. This new miniseries of Umbrellas of Hope was created in order to inspire you and empower you by giving you the creative confidence to redesign the world around you, to create new solutions that are invaluable for today's society, powered by your vision, your own unique talents, and limited only by your imagination. Our world, our society, our future needs you.